Hello and welcome back to our board recaps. Today we'll bring you our February recaps for our board meetings on February 4th and February 19th. So we begin with those who make a difference. We had a little log jam of different events that we needed to make sure we recaptured because of our weather and some of those concerns over the January, December months. So a couple of recognitions. Smith Elementary School recognized Kristen Kinsella, our school psychologist and PPS team leader at Smith, and she was honored for making a difference in the lives of those students at Smith Elementary. This award was presented by their principal, Dr. Pete Claybo. Schneider Elementary also recognized the 2018-2019 members of the Safety Patrol, and this was presented by the principal at Schneider Elementary, Mrs. Olivia Smith. Moving into our information items, the school improvement plan for the Smith Elementary School was presented to the board for information as presented by Smith Elementary Principal Dr. Pete Claybo. Mrs. Olivia Smith, the principal at Schneider Elementary, presented the school improvement plan for the Schneider Elementary School, and that was presented for the board for their information. The contract amendments for special education transportation was provided by the Durham School Services, was presented to the board for information, and that was presented by Angie Smith, our Assistant Superintendent for Operations. The bid proposals and timelines for the lawn care maintenance Region 1 and 2 and custodial supplies and non-hazardous waste and recycling removal packages was presented to the board as a step one for information, and that was presented by Jeff Schiller, our Director of Operations. The revised Memorandum of Understanding between the A+ Foundation and the West Aurora School District was presented as a step one, and that was presented by myself, Jeff Craig, Superintendent. We had a policy recommendation for policy 6.135, and that was a recommendation from PRESS, which is our Policy Reference Education Subscription Service, was presented to the board as a step one for consideration to adopt. And we attached that draft policy for the board's review. Dr. Raby, our Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, presented that option. And then there was an update on our recent events and efforts that was presented to the board by our Director of Community Affairs, Mr. Alex Perez. This particular meeting, we didn't have any discussion items because we didn't have any information items from the last board meeting in January. So we'll move right into action items, and there were several of those. The Board of Education approved the recommendation to accept the proposal submitted by Prairie Technologies for a Fortinet firewall system and installation services as presented. The Board of Education also approved the 2017-2018 annual financial reports for the West Aurora School District 129 and the Hope Wall joint agreement as presented. The Board of Education approved the recommendation to adopt investigations to be used as the math resources for grades kindergarten through 5th. Board also approved the recommendation that the contract for the Science Lab casework project be awarded to the lowest responsive bidder, and that was Construction Solutions of Illinois, Inc., and the accepted bid base and both alternates for a total contract amount of $385,223. The board approved the recommendation that the contract for the plumbing upgrades and restroom renovations project be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder, Construction Solutions, Inc., for a total contract amount of $747,723. Board also approved the recommendation that the contract for the roofing at Jewell Middle School and at West Aurora High School be awarded to the lowest responsive bidder, and that was to DCG Roofing Solutions, Inc., and the base bid and alternate number one be accepted for the total contract amount of $1,879,557. And the last action item, Board approved the recommendation that the contract for the metal siding refinishing at Jewell Middle School be awarded to the lowest responsive bidder, Codeco Industries, Inc., and accept the base bid for a total contract amount of $59,484. So that's the last action item, and that ended our February 4th board meeting. So moving on to the February 19th board meeting, Those who make a difference, the district recognized Neil and Mary Ormond for their establishment of the Ormond Laureate Awards for Teaching Excellence. And that was presented by our Director of Community Affairs, Mr. Alex Perez. That was a fun opportunity to be able to share. Goodwin Elementary also recognized staff members that are part of their Spirit Classrooms, and that was presented by Principal Bob Halverson at Goodwin Elementary. So we move into our information items. The school improvement plan for Goodwin Elementary was presented by Bob Halverson, Principal Goodwin. The district is also recommending an update to a board policy 2.080 in order to adopt the updated oath of office. The updated oath comes from the Illinois State Board of Association of School Boards, so we try to adopt those as currently needed, and so that's a step one information item. An update on recent community events and efforts was presented to the board by our very own Director of Community Affairs, Mr. Alex Perez. Moving into our discussion items. Contract amendments for special education transportation provided by Durham School Services was presented to the board for further discussion, and that was presented by Angie Smith, Assistant Superintendent for Operations. The bid results for the Lawn Care and Maintenance Region 1 and 2 and Waste and Recycling Hauling and Disposal Packages was presented to the board for discussion. So we'll see that item and those bid tab results as an action item at the next board meeting in March. And that was presented by Director of Operations Jeff Schuller. The revised memorandum of understanding between the A-Plus Foundation and the West Aurora School District was presented for further discussion by myself. There were no comments at that time. And we have one action item for the February 19th board meeting. And the Board of Education authorized the application for the Kane County Grand Victoria Riverboat Funds and execution of all necessary documents. So that ends our board recaps. That covers the month of February, and we hope this was informational, and we will see you again at the end of next month. Thank you.